Next matter is State versus, did we take care of Tracy Phillips?
No, Your Honor, we have not.
All right. Counsel, that reflects a summons. Does your file reflect a service? Finds Mr. Phillips is not here. 9 o'clock docket, it's 12.
It does, Your Honor. The return on the summons that I have in my file would appear to indicate residential service on a third party, seemingly a roommate, back in June.
All right, I'm going to issue a warrant, not a bench warrant, but a warrant for, as there's already been an attempt to get service. It's been unsuccessful. Perhaps it was successful and blown off, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to set bond at 1,000 cash or surety.
All right, folks, buckle up, because today we are diving into the chaotic courtroom of Judge Webster, where one woman, Tracy Phillips, is about to test the system like never before. She's what they call a sovereign citizen, a defendant who insists on representing herself, challenging every procedure, and pushing the limits of the law. In today's video, we'll cover her past appearances, missed court dates, and some jaw-dropping exchanges that reveal just how complicated and frankly messy these cases can get. From failing to appear to arguing over the legal validity of her own identity, you won't want to miss a second of this.
Showing in count one that you were driving, the state's alleging you were driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor?
Yes.
With court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count one that you were on November 8th, 2023 in Butler County operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count two, was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count three, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count four alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license, and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500 and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if
that should have also been dropped because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that. Oh, I did that over the internet. My change of address and had brought that in. The date that was on my actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date. I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you going to be able to hire an attorney, or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay, well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't.
Notice how the judge handles the initial missed appearance. He sets a bond but doesn't immediately issue a bench warrant. This is classic courtroom strategy. Give the defendant the benefit of the doubt while still maintaining authority. It's a subtle balance between enforcing the law and avoiding overpunishment, but also sets the stage for Tracy's dramatic courtroom style. Missing a court date can escalate quickly, yet here, the judge is methodical, hinting at his experience with repeat offenders. And make no mistake, Tracy's story is far from over. It's only just beginning.
We are on the record in 23 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. Defendant Tracy Phillips appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th. And you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th. And you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for a public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges, driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on, what's your next trial date, Jen?
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 13th or May 14th at 1:30.
Okay.
But with or without counsel, we're going to take this to trial because.
Not a problem.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. You're excused at this time.
Here's where things start to get interesting. Tracy shows up for her January appearance, but already the tension is palpable. Multiple charges, some dismissed, others active, and a clear miscommunication about her change of address. You can see the frustration in the judge's voice. It's not just the law. It's about navigating someone who is determined to challenge every procedure. And Tracy, representing herself, adds a layer of unpredictability. The audience watching can immediately feel the stakes. A $1,000 bond, potential jail time, and a defendant who's playing by her own rules.
Plan on this since you're representing yourself.
I'm sorry. I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the internet.
that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insurance. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Ms. Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Ms. Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am, I
hire an
did.
attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's
the
not about not affording it. Because I have to need a hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County is the problem.
All right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to
Oh.
take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's
And
exactly what
so-
I'm saying.
All right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
This is where it gets wild. Tracy decides to go pro se, representing herself. That a bold move in any courtroom. But in traffic and misdemeanor cases with multiple charges, it's almost unheard of. The judge is calm, guiding her through the process. Yet you can sense attention every time legal terminology is tossed around. She insists she can find an attorney, but refuses court-appointed counsel. This is textbook sovereign citizen behavior. Questioning authority, refusing traditional processes, yet still navigating the legal system. For viewers, it's equal parts fascinating and nerve-wracking.
Are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is finding that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Yeah. Mhm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. It's a basically, Miss Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them, and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm giving up a right to speak. That makes no sense, Your Honor. Truly.
Independent of whether you
If you
talk to
want-
him
if
or
you-
not.
I'm sorry?
You want it, regardless of whether you talk to him or not, do you want an attorney?
Well, he said himself, he didn't want, he wasn't willing to until I signed this waiver.
That's right,
Waiving my
because
right. He
because
didn't want to speak to me until then.
if you're going to go out and get an attorney, he has to ethically go through the attorney. And that's why he
Okay.
is following his conscience on the ethical issue
Okay.
and his obligations.
This whole thing is an ethical issue, ma'am.
And here we hit peak sovereign citizen territory. Tracy asks if this trial is under common law or admiralty law, then even brings up the law of Narnia. The judge's response is sharp but professional, grounding everything in statutory Kansas law. Moments like this highlight why attorneys are usually involved. Navigating these fantastical claims can derail proceedings. For viewers, it's both hilarious and mind-boggling. But for the judge, it's serious business. He must ensure the law is applied correctly, no matter how creative the arguments get.
No, that's not grammatically correct. That is not my given name on my driver's license.
All right. What name did your parents give you?
Tracy Lynn Phillips.
All right. And that's on your birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the name on your
The
driver's
one the
license?
government created.
That's not the name on your driver's license? Tracy Lynn Phillips
No,
is not
it's
the name?
not. It's not the same one.
All right. What's the name on your driver's license?
Tracy Phillips.
Just Tracy Phillips? They took off
That
the
isn't, the
Lynn?
one on the driver's license is not grammatically correct, ma'am.
All right. How is Okay, how is it not correct?
It's all in capitals.
Oh,
That's
I
not
see.
grammatically
I
correct.
see. Okay, I see where we're going. All right,
So I need to know, ma'am, am I supposed to put the one that's in all capitals? That's on my driver's license
I want
on
you-
here? And then
I want
sign
you-
it
Miss,
as the entity to Tracy Lynn
I'm about ready
Phillips?
to run out of my patience with you. You need to settle
Okay.
down.
I'm
and
just
be
asking a question.
You're-
I'm just asking a
you're
question.
disrupting No, you're not. You're not
I'm
just
not
asking
disrupting
questions.
anything. I simply asked a question.
Look, Miss Phillips, you see that officer sitting next to you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you know I have the authority to tell him to put you into custody until you're ready to cooperate? Now, I don't want to do that, but you're being
I don't-
belligerent and difficult in this court's opinion.
I don't understand what you're wanting from me. I'm really not being difficult.
All
I
right,
simply
I want
asked-
you to
I
stop
simply asked-
talking for a moment, and I want you to
Sure.
tell me, did you read the form in front of you?
Yes, ma'am, I did read the form.
And you signed the form? No, you haven't signed it because you don't know what
I
name
have
to
it
use.
because I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to, what name am I supposed to
I
add the
want
one
you
that's in
to
capitals?
sign, I want
Or
you to
mine.
sign your legal name.
Put your first name up here, or your name up here.
Deputy, please don't help her. I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that it could become a problem for you and her and me both. or all
I just
three.
showing her to where to write her name in the slot. So
I know, but I don't think you ought to be doing that. Thank you. I know you
There you
mean well. All right. So, do you have any questions about the document you just signed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. And you do know that you can hire an attorney? Yes or no?
I understand.
And do you understand if you could not afford an attorney, you could apply and see if one could be appointed? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And knowing that those two facts, you are waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to counsel today on the record, both in writing and in oral fashion. Now, with that being said, Mr. Regier, I'll just open it up to whether or not you want to attempt any kind of negotiation with her, or if you want to proceed with the trial that we have scheduled and the witness that you have subpoenaed and appear.
Now watch closely. This is where the courtroom drama hits full throttle. Tracy is confronted with signing a waiver of counsel, but she's immediately concerned about her straw man versus legal name. These arguments are not just legal technicalities. They are part of her identity challenge and reflect her deeper mistrust of the system. The judge and deputies navigate this carefully, explaining rights without derailing the trial. For anyone watching, this is a perfect example of courtroom patience and the challenges judges face with self-represented defendants who insist on questioning every legal assumption. So the stage is set, May 14th, trial day, with or without counsel. This is a critical moment. The court respects her choice to proceed alone, but it's risky. As we watch today's video, we'll see how her decisions play out in real time. For viewers, it's an educational peek into courtroom procedure. Even with self-representation, the law marches forward, deadlines are enforced, and the judge maintains control. The drama here isn't just legal, it's personal, strategic, and high stakes.
State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. All parties appearing as before. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Tracy Lynn Phillips, in person and pro se, having signed a waiver of counsel and orally waived right to counsel as well, both on the record. And we are ready to start the bench trial with Master Trooper Kane ready to testify, it looks like. But before he does, any opening statement, Mr. Regier?
Judge, can I say one
Yes.
thing? She took back
Go ahead,
that,
Deputy.
she took back that waiver, so that makes a difference.
All right, where's your attorney? Who's going to represent you?
We've already discussed that.
Well, you signed a written waiver. What do you mean you take it back? Do you mean you want to proceed with an attorney? You either have an attorney or you don't, Ms.
I don't know,
Phillips.
Your Honor.
Yes.
This whole thing, I don't even know what to do. I have tried to hire an attorney. I do not want a court appointed. Was thrown under the bus last time. I don't even understand why I have this ticket to begin with.
Well, an attorney could help with that,
It's ridiculous.
but you have, I don't recall you gave me any indication before that we were going to have the issues today that we're having.
Because I was never allowed to say anything. There were issues, case in point, going to jail twice on a warrant, Mr. Reiger, that wasn't me. Quite obviously.
Is this still the same case that you said initially back in, a couple of years ago, it wasn't you?
Why I was initially here when I saw you the first time? Yes, that most certainly wasn't me. I'm not a 6-foot black man.
All right, let's break down everything we've seen. Tracy Phillips' case is a whirlwind of missed appearances, pro-SE representation, and unique legal challenges. The judge handled each moment with patience and precision, ensuring statutory law was applied correctly while still allowing Tracy her right to represent herself. From bond setting to the waiver of counsel, the courtroom drama highlights both the rigidity and flexibility of the justice system. If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping breakdowns.